Katie Salidas here, and today I'm going to be reading to you from my recently published A Weapon of Mass Destruction. This is the first book in the Agents of A.S.S.E.T series, and it came out June 5th. Book 2 is due out early July, I believe July 15th. So let's dive right in and see if you guys like it. She'd had the sense to walk away. Achievement unlocked. If this had been game night, she'd have earned herself a badge of honor. When Matt came home, she was definitely telling him about this triumph. How many girls can walk away from a dangerous hottie like that and live to tell the tale? Patting herself on the back, she rounded the corner towards her apartment complex, radiating pride, head held high. And even better, she hadn't asked his name. No attachments, no connections. She'd toss out his card the minute she got inside. No need to dwell on it any further. Though she had given him her number. Damn. Well, she didn't have to answer the phone to an unknown caller, so not a complete loss. Men were a distraction she didn't need at the moment. And she had Matt in her life anyway, and his awesome boyfriend Josh. Between the two of them, there was plenty of testosterone to go around. She unlocked the after-hours security gate to her apartment complex and took the short path towards her building. Kids were still swimming in the communal pool, laughing and splashing at each other. Some of her neighbors were out taking evening strolls now that the brutal heat of the day had cooled. For the first time in all the long day, she could take a deep, cleansing breath. Everything was as it should be. Sage Sinwig? A man stepped out of the shadows on her tiny front porch, his face partially hidden from the lamps. He stood at least a head taller than her, making her crane her neck just to get a better look at him. What little she could see, though, wasn't a face she recognized. And then, how the hell did he know her name? Even worse, how did he know this was her apartment? Her heart kicked into overdrive, and she scanned around to see if there might be more hiding in the shadows. Damn it, she screamed in her head. Of course this day had to end with more oddities. Who was asking? She looked at him again. The path lights were on, and he was standing just out of their glow. For a moment, she worried that the guy from the bar had followed her. But this guy was different. Wearing a black fedora, cloaking some of his head, and a leather duster over dark shirt and dark pants, he was camouflaged in the shadows. The only light resided in his eyes. Pale turquoise, with a hint of familiarity she couldn't quite put her finger on. She growled with frustration as she met those eyes. With an annoyed glare, balling up her fists, ready to fight. Devin had been training her. She was ready. "Are you Sage Sinwig?" he asked, with more force this time. "No," she lied. "And this is private property. Leave the premises before I call security." He reached out faster than she could react and took hold of her hand, flipping it over to reveal her birthmark. Her instincts kicked in and she twisted, breaking his flimsy hold and rounding on him, sending her fist flying at his face. Quick as she was, he was faster, and he blocked her strike with ease. "We need to talk." He stepped into the light and held his arms up in surrender. She had been ready to hit him again, but caught sight of his wrist. He had the same birthmark. Her eyes lit with as much shock as the others had done when they had seen her birthmark. She'd believed it was a deformity that only she and her mother shared in this special hereditary marking. But now she knew that was a lie. And suddenly the turquoise eyes made sense too. Was he family? Some distant relation she'd never been told of? They not only shared the same eye color, but the same deformity, all the way down to the crown of leaves of what appeared to be a tree shaped out of broken veins. "I'm not here to fight with you." He lowered his hand slowly and spoke in a whisper. "I'm here to help." "I don't need your help." She relaxed from her fighting stance. The alarms hadn't gone off when she dealt... I don't need any help. She relaxed her fighting stance. The alarms that had gone off at the bar when she dealt with those other gorgeous blue eyes were silent now in the presence of this equally dangerous-looking guy. What the hell was going on? Her instincts should have been telling her to run. She should have been screaming for help, calling the police. Normal people didn't skulk in the shadows. but standing in front of this guy who clearly wanted to look dangerous and badass. She felt only curiosity. "You might not think you need help just yet, but you do," he replied. "Can we go inside and talk? I can explain." "We can talk out here," she crossed her arms. "No, we can't. Too many ears." He nodded and then looked upwards. Sage turned to look in the same direction and saw someone drawing their curtains shut in a second-story apartment. "You and I share the same symbol. Aren't you the least bit curious what it means?" Sage opened her mouth to say yes, but the words refused to come. That was exactly what he would want her to say. "Does the name A.S.S.E.T make a difference?" he whispered. That word threatened to bring tears to her eyes. She didn't want to say it out loud, but if he knew about A.S.S.E.T, then he had to know about her mother. Maybe he was connected to her family in a way she never knew. Fine. She groaned, hoping that she wasn't about to make the stupidest of all mistakes by allowing him inside. "But I swear, if you put a hand on me again..." He smirked. "I have no interest in putting my hands on you." "Good." She responded quickly, though not too certain what he meant by that comment. Either way, she was making a beeline for the kitchen to grab a knife. So we'll stop there. So I hope you enjoyed this little sample of A Weapon of Magical Destruction. This book is available right now, and book 2 will be out next month. Check me out online at katiesalidas.com. You can find my books at Barnes & Noble, at Amazon, all retailers. Or you can connect with me directly on Facebook. I practically live there. So I hope you'll enjoy it. Thanks for listening, guys.